And that is right, people. I am, of course, the Golden One. Ricky Goldman. And this right here is the Reigning Podcast. There's a reason for an early start, so I'll bring him in right now. The man himself, it is James from Love of Wrestling.
Hi, guys.
And of course, my co-host, the wise man himself, Ian.
How's it going?
So yeah, let's get right into the. So yeah, let's get right into this. Love of Wrestling next month. Okay. The first is Sean Waltman and Progress, I believe, and I believe that Alex Hammerstone and the Grizzled Young Veterans are going to be there, if I'm not mistaken, James.
That's right. Yeah, they're the ones that have been announced so far. I mean, you never know who else could be added to either of our wrestling shows over the weekend.
You have a great
Say
lineup,
our wrestling
Alex.
shows,
You have a
obviously
really
brought to
good
you by
lineup,
the
Alex.
fine people at Progress Wrestling. Yep. Yeah, it's fabulous. It's fabulous.
Then of course, Love of Wrestling. I've come to every single year. It is a great convention where the fans definitely come first. I've been to other things like kind of inside the ropes, where seems to be very rushed. But at Love of Wrestling, it's definitely not that. So the convention second and third, and then you got wrestling as well on the second. So kind of my first question, I suppose, is OSW, is it Old School Wrestling? Is that your brand? And if so, can you tell us more about it, please?
Yeah, so Old School Wrestling is sort of my wrestling collection. Of as you do with wrestling, when anybody who collects wrestling stuff, it can get very crazy very quickly. So there's too much out there. If you try and collect everything wrestling, and the amount of stuff they're just bringing out these days is obscene. I mean, at least when I was a lad, you sort of had your Hasbros. You might have had your pencil cases, your school stuff like that. But you could sort of keep you could keep on top of it. It didn't see them in your face. Like now, the just amount of stuff that's being released is incredible. So I limited myself very early in the day to sort of mint condition WWF branded stuff, primarily Golden Era. But I do like to delve into the Attitude Era stuff every now and again. On top of that, I started collecting primarily wrestling chairs as well. So I think I've probably got about 85 wrestling pay-per-view chairs in my collection now, and then just absolute obscene amount of WWF branded stuff. So yeah, I'll be bringing the Old School Wrestling collection for Love of Wrestling once again. Those guys will have seen it who've been there since the start. Obviously, it was my big collection in the middle of the floor the first year. Then I don't think last year, the 2022 show would have been obviously the complete WrestleMania chair collection. Last year, obviously, we had a few of my chairs dotted about as well, and a few other bits like the Slammy and things like that. This year, we're going to be bringing sort of a WWF branded sort of rare items collection. It's not going to be, your sort of your in-ring worn stuff. More stuff that I'm sure we all love to collect as a kid. Perhaps some of the stuff you've not seen for many years. So yeah, fun stuff, which hopefully everyone will enjoy viewing, and that's just one of the exhibits we've got lined up for the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. You're definitely right about the stuff they release nowadays. It's just anything can stick the WWE brand on, they will. Your chicken, I think, is amazing. I always try and get a picture of that every year. And I didn't know the Slammy was yours, but I thought that was cool. I thought it was cool to hold.
Yeah, the Slammy was an interesting one, and yeah, you're right. I mean, to give you an idea of how much stuff they're releasing, I was lucky enough to work with John Cena a couple of years ago, and we did something with John Cena where we got him to sign some pops over the weekend. John Cena just he wasn't even aware that some of the pops had released. He hadn't seen some of the pops that actually had been released. So when the the talent themselves or the stars themselves are surprised by their own merchandise. That gives you a little bit of an idea of how much stuff is actually being released. Obviously, he's a very busy man, but that to me was surprising that he didn't even know how much stuff was out there.
How do you make connections with all the
But
wrestlers?
the Slammy was mine.
Say that again, Ian? Sorry about
Say
that.
again, sorry.
How do you make connections with all the wrestlers that you get the stuff from or make appearance at the convention?
Number of different ways. I mean, if we go all the way back to 2019, obviously Monopoly Events, who runs For Love of Wrestling, they've obviously, well, this time last year would have said maybe 12 to 14 of the UK's biggest conventions. This year, it's looking like there's going to be sort of 25 conventions out there with the new Comic Con Manias that are going to be going on all around the country this year. But yeah, I mean, the For Love of Wrestling itself was born out of one of the Comic Cons. Andy, who owns Monopoly Events, is a big fan of all things pop culture, including wrestling. And from the very start of his shows, he liked wrestling to have a presence there. One year he happened to have, I think it was Gail Kim, it was Edge, and I believe it was Taker UK who was there that year as well, at the Liverpool convention. And Edge and Gail Kim, as you can imagine, had queues just as big as any of the stars that were there as well. That sort of let a light bulb go off above Andy's head, which was actually, you know what, maybe this is something big enough to have its own individual convention, which is where For Love of Wrestling came from. And obviously, just like the many big movie stars, your TV stars, your musicians, your sports stars, many of them have agents. So obviously, Monopoly Events has got a great reputation out there in the world of media and entertainment. And that should continue as well. But yeah, and the wrestlers themselves is a great way to make connections with wrestlers. So when we put on the first show in 2019, we got some great feedback after that show. Some people were very, very outspoken about how good the show was. Eric Bischoff was someone who was particularly outspoken. Scott Hall, bless him and rest in peace, he was particularly well outspoken. Ric Flair, Bret Hart, loads of people were very, very complimentary about the show. And just like any industry, just like the industries you guys work in as well, you have work WhatsApp groups with your colleagues, you speak to people you work with who you used to work with, and people talk. And For Love of Wrestling's got a really, really good reputation. So obviously, when we first started out, it was reaching out to a lot of people. Now we're very, very lucky in that a lot of people contact the show and ask, if they can appear as well. So yeah, mutually beneficial. Plus, we've got some amazing people, and we've over the years we've built some brilliant friendships with not only agents, but the wrestlers themselves, family members, reps, all that type of thing. So if we do need contact details of someone, normally, fingers crossed, we can find it.
You had mentioned the queues last year. Sting's queue was just massive. Bray's queue was massive. MJF, even though he's a heel, massive. Kurt Angle, massive. So some massive queues last year.
I mean, it's always difficult when you try and fit two. Sorry, go on.
Do you like meeting when you?
Yeah, I was just going to say it's very difficult sometimes when you try and fit.
Yourself get starstruck, or?
Do you know? I think I used to. I think I used to. I think strangely, I think the first wrestler I ever met was Hulk Hogan. So that was obviously, I certainly got starstruck then. But then obviously back in maybe 2018, 2019, got to work with people like Taker. Really lucky like that. So worked with some very, very big names very, very quickly. And yeah, I'm sure I did get starstruck. And you still do now to a certain degree. Generally, when they're really nice, you're obviously very aware you're working with somebody like John Cena. I mean, you absolutely have to be mental not to realise how big he is in the industry. But I try doing the very best to act professional, not to fanboy. When I get a chance to chat with them, I try and chat with them. Not just about wrestling, just about themselves, that make sure that they're feeling well looked after and stuff like that, because obviously that's my job within the company. So yeah, I try and do that as well. And 99% of people, if you're polite and humble and nice to them, they respond in exactly the same way. They are just they as crazy as it
How would
seems
you
sometimes, when you are faced with someone like a Taker or a Cena, you do have to remember that they are just people at the end of the day. They have good days, bad days, but like I say, 99% of them are always absolutely wonderful.
I would be completely starstruck when I met the Undertaker. I was like, oh, wow, he's actually here in front of me. It's just amazing. So like kind of big. So you've had the Undertaker, you've had John Cena at the Wales one. It would is there like a possibility maybe in the future to put people? I know he's like super busy and probably doesn't need the money, but could you like maybe one day book The Rock or Hulk Hogan or get John Cena in Liverpool? Not Liverpool, Manchester, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's John's. Yeah, John Cena was worked with us in Wales. He was very impressed with the company. Thought it was a very professional company. He absolutely loved meeting the fans. And I'll say that for John Cena. I know that's something that people say. John Cena. I know John Cena's. Got some people love him, some people love to hate him, etc. John Cena is one of the most professional, nicest guys I've ever got to work with. But he's also, what you see on TV, all that good stuff around how much he cares about his fans, the hustle, loyalty, respect, how much he respects his fans, etc. That's not an act. That is John Cena. I saw that. I spent the day with him. You can't. You can. I have worked with people. That. Maybe they're very tired of it. John Cena is on all the time, and he really, really does appreciate his fans. So yeah, I mean, it's and again, I'm probably the same as you. I mean, if you've ever met the Undertaker, he's got a crazy presence about him. I mean, when you stood near the Undertaker, he has got a weird vibe. It is true, he has got an aura. And I've experienced that on a couple of occasions when I've been around him. But yeah, he is the dead man. He is the legend, one of the biggest names ever to do it. So yeah, very cool guy.
As people like The Rock, Hogan, or even Austin in the future, are they a big never, or have you reached out to these people? Said maybe one day.
Do you know what I mean? We obviously get all the time. We always get the the Rock, the Austin, the Hogan questions. I mean, if we inquired about the Rock, the Hogan, and Austin, yeah, of course we have. Yeah, that's people will be the way to look at it is this: if anybody is in the industry right now who is a big name, they're popular, they're alive. If they tick those three boxes, then we've been in contact with them. The Rock is obviously a very, very busy guy, but so is John Cena. I mean, I suppose if in some crazy world, people say, why did John Cena do Wales instead of wrestling? Because the dates worked. He happened to be in London. He was approached. He was happy to come and meet fans, so it worked that way. I mean, what you're going to say to John Cena? No, we need you for in April. If you get the chance to get John Cena, it doesn't really matter where in the country it is. You get John Cena, and Austin and Hogan. I mean, neither of them are huge fans of travel, so that makes it a little bit more complex. But never say never. Conversations. We'll always be having conversations with the right people about those two guys. The Rock. He's obviously he's gone into the stratosphere these days. But again, you can probably add Dave Bautista to that list. I mean, once you get into that DC Marvel world and you start making those sort of movies, your career just it absolutely spikes. And he's someone else. So I mean, I'd love to know where Dave Bautista is going to be in 2 or 3 years. Is he going to be in that leading man role? And I think it's a very good chance he will be. So never say never.
I've
well,
seen
they are
some
difficult.
of the sets that you've got. Sorry. I've seen some of the sets. I think we've got a bit of David Lake planned. Yeah, there is a bit of a lag here going on. But some of the sets you've got. So you've got the WrestleMania 7 one for Sergeant Slaughter, Raw set, and Slammy Award set. I can't wait to see the Raw set. Can you say if there's any other sets planned, or do we just have to wait and see?
So we've obviously got the Slammy set, we've got the Raw sets, we've got the Money in the Bank set, we've got the Taker The Undertaker set. I think there's one more. I'm not sure there might be. I'm not sure if there is one more or not. Oh, and obviously the WrestleMania 7 set as well. So yeah, we've got a few sets out there. Some of them will be really good photo opportunities. I think this more raw Monday Night Raw entrance. I mean, that's the one. That could be arguably one of our biggest prop builds we've done to date. Just on whether that goes right or not. What it's going to look like when we've got the right people trying to make it happen for us right now. But we hope that's going to be a really, really cool one. It's one we've been wanting to do, one of the entrances for quite some time now. So we're glad we're going to be able to get that one. But we've got Sergeant Slaughter there as well, so we thought it'd be really cool to do something around WrestleMania 7, which is why we've done that sort of WrestleMania 7 backstage sort of interview section, where obviously some really iconic interviews there with like Taker and Bossman and Bulldog and people like that from that particular show. So we wanted to incorporate that if we could. The Slammy one's a really fun one. Money in the Bank's going to be a really fun one. So yeah, we've put a bit more. I wouldn't say put a bit more effort, but we started working on the prop builds a little early this year, and that's something that we purposely plan to do, and we have done. So just a case of getting them over the line now, which we're looking forward to. But as well as the prop builds, you've got all the exhibits out there as well. We're going to have, Future Shock and Progress are going to have a presence on the floor over the weekend as well. What that looks like, we're sort of still finalising that at the moment, but some exciting plans ahead. Obviously, then you've got all the guests as well. I mean, there's a hell of a lot going on over the weekend at the event. So I would always say, make sure you come and spend a good few hours with us. And then, as you sort of alluded to earlier, we've got the after party as well. So, and obviously then the Sean Waltman on the Friday night, the Progress show on the Friday night, the show itself, and the after party. After party is going to have the big Future Shock show. We've also got the cosplay competition happening there as well, which I know you're going to be taking part in. So it's just going to be an amazing weekend of fun.
It sounds like it now.
Will the wrestling cinema be making an appearance again this year? Last year, I thought that was an amazing idea. You can sit down, relax, and watch wrestling. Amazing idea. Will that be making another year?
Not sure. We were talking about that the other day. We're not sure if it's. Let's see about the wrestling cinema. It's not a no. It's a not quite sure what the best thing to do for that is as yet. We're still finalising a few bits and bobs. So yeah, possibly, but not guaranteed.
And you get other people like selling wrestling merch there as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we've got a traders area. Oh yes. We've got loads of stuff going on. We've got loads of exhibits, people coming down, talk about their wrestling schools, their wrestling collections. We've obviously got our trader area, so there'll be our trader area in there as well. A lot of them are primarily selling wrestling goods. So if you're a wrestling collector or you want to be a wrestling collector, please come down because you'll find some amazing stuff. I've been collecting chairs, God knows how many years now, and one of the traders rocked up last year with 3 New Japan chairs that I'd never even seen. So you can find some really, really amazing stuff in the traders area. Tattoos. So we've got Jack Mids coming down again. If you're not familiar with Jack Mids' work, he's been tattooing at the last 2 shows, and he's coming back this year to do some more tattoos. So if you are looking to come down to the show and get yourself a tattoo, make sure you get on the Facebook page, look for the Jack Mids post, because if you did want to get tattooed at the show, make sure you get yourself booked in early. He's very, very, very busy.
Oh.
Yeah, I know that Harry. I'll speak to Harry. Didn't he get a Ruby Rater tattoo last year? I think he got, didn't he? So yeah.
I think so. He's a big Ruby Riot fan, isn't he?
And you like to collect chairs. I like to collect T-shirts. I've got 317 wrestling T-shirts.
Wowzers!
Are some of the guests?
That's some collection.
Are some of the guests approached to wrestle on the shows like the Progress Show or Future Shock, or at least do something, or do they just want to relax and kind of focus on the weekend?
Well, I mean, you've been to the last few shows and you've seen the wrestling shows. I mean, you never know who's going to turn up at the Flubber Wrestling live wrestling shows. I mean, in the past, we've had Hacksaw Jim Duggan turn up. I think Earl Hebner did a bit of a turn. We had the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne won the Invitational Battle Royal. We've seen Braun Strowman throw somebody halfway across the bloody arena. We've seen the Grado entrance. We've seen Anthony Ogogo wrestle. I mean, we've seen some brilliant names wrestle at the show itself. I wouldn't be surprised if we definitely had some guests involved in one or both shows. And obviously, we've seen that Progress have started to announce some of their wrestling as well. And yeah, I would probably suspect that we may start to hear, probably within the week to next 10 days, a little bit more about the matches and if guests are going to be involved in the matches.
And I believe you had Eric Rowan when he was in Liverpool. The last year he was in Liverpool, and last year Santino Marella, who was a great guest, fantastic guest, really nice guy, and I even got his wrist tape after his match. So that was really nice. I mean, he didn't have to do that. Great guest.
Yeah, Eric Rowe's a great guest. I mean, yeah, and Santino, bless him, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever have the pleasure to meet. I got to spend a little bit of time with Santino. I was driving him around a little bit, and then he very kindly bought me a beer on the Saturday back at the hotel. So yeah, I got to chill with him. Very, very clever guy. And you consider that he's that obviously he played primarily a comedy character in WWE. You sit down and have a conversation with the guy, and he tells you about his MMA school and all of the stuff he does in the mixed martial arts and the cage stuff and all that sort of thing. And he's very, very clever. He's it's a credit to his talent. It shows you just how good he can be, because he's definitely not a sort of jokey comedy character in real life. I imagine if he doesn't want to be, he's a hell of a tough guy, but an absolutely brilliant, such a nice guy to be around.
Has there been ever wrestlers during the years you've done it that have been very difficult to work with?
Talking of great.
Very difficult to work with. Do you know what? No, I think there's some wrestlers who I thought might be a little bit difficult to work with, and then perhaps turned out to be completely the opposite. I'll tell you someone who I wasn't sure how they would turn out was Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg, you obviously the fans, some fans, a very small amount of fans, but unfortunately very vocal ones. They like to trash talk him on social media. And things like that, and he doesn't care about the business, and he's all about money and stuff like that. And you hear all these terrible things about Bill Goldberg. One of the nicest gentlemen you could ever wish to meet. Went constantly the whole time he was there, was going out of his way for fans, offering to do Q&As he wasn't scheduled to do, offered to go and meet all of the platinum ticket holders to make sure that they felt they got their money's worth. Got back to the hotel on the Friday night. I dropped him off on the Saturday night about 7 maybe. And then about 8:30, we realised that there was some fans had sent some stuff in, and we found a bag full of stuff in a corner that was meant to be signed by Bill Goldberg and wasn't. Thought, no chance in the world he's replying to this. I just text Bill. I said, Bill, I'm really sorry about this. I found a bag with some items in from a fan in Italy. Would you mind if I come to your hotel tomorrow or when you're about to leave, would you mind signing them? No problem at all. I'm in this place now. Come and see me. Bring the pens. We'll get it boxed off now. That was his time, his own personal time, when he's spending with his wife. But he wanted to make sure the fans got exactly everything that they were hoping for. That's the type of guy Big Goldberg is. That's I think more people need to tell more stories like that about Bill Goldberg, because he's a very, very decent guy.
Are you very selective of who you pick for a convention? Like, you try to root out who the good guys are and who are the pricks?
I wouldn't say we try and root out. What we should, I think the way we do it is we try and make sure that the way we try and root out or try and plan guests is we like to have stuff that's fun. We like to try and bring unusual reunions back together. We try and listen to what the fans want, wherever possible, deliver that. Perfect example of that being is the team bestie. So we had Lita on our show in 2019. We had Trish on our show in 2022. But fans have been asking us, for 5 years now, bring Team Bestie back together, bring Team Bestie back together. So we've managed to do it. We managed to do it this year. So we try and lift fans. No, we know, Bill Goldberg's a perfect example about that. We will work with anybody who we think the fans want to meet and will be popular at the show, and will give fans a great experience. We don't listen to internet rumor. We don't listen to fan forums on Twitter. That thing's the judge and jury of social media. We like to give everybody a chance, and hopefully, people come over here. We treat them well. I'll say this, for every single wrestling guest we've ever had on the show, we've found the wrestling guests particularly, just the feedback from them to be fantastic, and their behaviour, the way they conduct themselves, how they are with fans, wonderful over the weekend. Wrestling, I'm sure I'm biased here because I'm a long-time wrestling fan. For me, I think wrestlers get the whole convention thing more than perhaps other people within that celebrity and entertainment world. And the reason why I say this is I think they're more used to the fan interaction. I think if you're, some people, not everybody, some people in films don't perhaps interact with fans, like wrestlers do. Wrestlers interacting with the fans is something that they do every single day, sometimes twice a day, when they're on the road. So they're a lot more comfortable with that fan interaction. And I think because of that, on parallel with every single celebrity I've ever met, I think wrestlers are the ones that I seem to always seem to give that really, really good, comfortable experience. That's why we get such good feedback off all the wrestling fans on how they feel, how their experience went. Even with people, people like Daniel Bryan we had last year, people like Big Show we had last year, and those sorts of people. The wrestlers, because the wrestlers just interact with the fans on a daily basis. I think they just get the whole convention thing a little bit more than other people.
I suppose we are paying the bills. A movie star gets paid no matter what. They don't.
But you're paying the movie star bills, so once you do the Comic Cons.
Fans.
Well, I mean, it's
like,
that does, just
I suppose you
just
can't
because
have...
No, just because you go to just because you buy a ticket to a wrestling show, it doesn't give you any access. You're not paying for access to the person. I mean, the wrestlers, I think, just enjoy them more. I think a lot of the wrestlers, I think the fan engagement is why some of them got into it. There's no difference between paying your ticket to a wrestling show and paying your ticket to watch a film at the cinema. At the end of the day, it's all all go into that industry, and none of them exist without fans. But I think I think wrestlers just like it more.
Oh, keep the bounty hunters just giving a few praises.
Well, apparently this is the Brian Keith, but I don't think it is. Anyway, speaking of Trish Stratus, a lovely guest. Again, she had a big queue, and you had, I think, the person in front of me had quite a few things to get signed. Clearly selling them on eBay, but she was willing to sign them. So, yeah, great guest. And the interaction she had with Mickie James, I thought that was amazing.
I mean, Trish, she's an absolute love. She's so warm. She's so kind. She's one of the best people you could ever have at a wrestling convention. Yes, when she's interacting with people that she really, really likes, like Mickie and people like that, she's got it turned up to 11. And she's going to be exactly the same this year. One of her very best friends in the industry for decades is obviously Lita, and when them two get together, they have an absolute riot. For me, I think this is an absolute dream pairing.
You have
having them both at the same show. We do, we do have 5 women this year. I mean, we're very, very lucky to get Mandy Rose. I think we're possibly the first event in Europe to have Mandy Rose appear since she left WWE. So again, we managed to get Mandy for the one day. She's going to be a hugely popular. Maria as well, is going to be hugely popular. So yeah, I mean, we've got a great, we've always been very, very supportive and making sure we try and balance everything. We try and balance the male stars and the female stars. We try and balance the golden era with the attitude era, with the new generation, with the current stuff. We try and get that balance between WWE and AEW and WCW. It's that we do try and make sure there's something for everybody and at all ages as well.
The Do you think from the women's side of things, Mandy Rose may have more of the success of attention from fans because of the Success for OnlyFans page?
No, I think Mandy Rose has had a huge following in wrestling for many years.
Yeah.
I mean, she's guilty of, is she guilty of being an absolute knockout? 100%. She's a beautiful lady. But you could say that about Trish. You could say that about Lita, about Maria. I mean, Maria is very about Lana. Sorry, CJ as well. I mean, Maria was a Playboy cover girl. I mean, I'm sure, having the success that Mandy's had outside of wrestling, in all different forms of entertainment, hasn't hurt her. But no, I think primarily people are coming to meet Mandy because she was a huge hit with fans in WWE.
I love the Toxic Attraction stuff, and that really revived her career. Like, we didn't know where she'd
I thought
go
so. Yeah, I mean, some people she was at that point.
Like, you didn't know where she'd go after the Otis story ended.
You've also got the MMA section again this year. I was lucky enough to go and have a look at the Octagon. I'm not an MMA fan at all, really, unless you've got Brock Lesnar or CM Punk in MMA. I'll only watch it then. Other than that, not really. But yeah, you've got that again this year, so I think that's pretty cool to look at again.
No, we're not going to do an MMA arena this year. That's sort of not going. We're having a bit of an MMA presence. Obviously, we've got Ken Shamrock, we've got Jake Hager. We might, you never know, if an MMA guest was to pop up that we thought was worth putting on the show. But, we just thought this year we'd just go back to it being primarily wrestling. And that's just based on feedback we got last year from fans about how perhaps that they felt the MMA area was making the wrestling area a little bit too small. Was it the best use of the space, etc.? So, no, as I say, we're really pleased to have a guest like Ken Shamrock. And Matt Riddle, Jake Hager, who will appear to fans of both entertainment types. So that's going to be really good. But yeah, not a specific MMA arena as such.
It was still cool to see the arena, and you've got the gaming,
yeah, definitely.
Station again back this year. That's good fun. I tell you, it really does pass time, I think. So that's good fun to play the old school games and old school consoles.
Yeah, the gaming arena is going to be. Yeah, it is. It's amazing that. I mean, the good thing about so Dave, we call him Arcade Dave. So Dave is, you'll see Dave at many of our shows. He does a lot of work for the shows, but Dave's, he runs that area, and that's all of the stuff you see there is his. But the great thing about Dave, particularly at the wrestling show, is Dave is a huge wrestling fan and has been for many decades. What that means is when Dave sets up the gaming area for Love of Wrestling, is he'll make sure that all of the great titles are there, and he'll make sure he tries to cover as many of the titles all over the years. You may see some old stuff there from things like the Commodore 64, the Atari ST, the Amiga 500, all the way through up to the current WWE titles. You'll have some rare stuff on there. You'll have your classic arcade titles. You'll have stuff like you might have even never played, like I think like the Slam Masters and things like that. Not IK Pro. Some new Japan games and things like that. So yeah, if there's a wrestling game out there that you're looking to play, come to the show, because I'm sure you'll find it somewhere in the gaming area somewhere.
Would you find Simpsons wrestling in it?
Do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. You'll probably find Simpsons. I'd almost guarantee you'll find Simpsons wrestling in there somewhere. You'll find all of the old Mega Drive and SNES and NES and Master System titles, no doubt. Dave's an absolute, he knows every single title probably that's ever been released. You'll find some stuff.
He's a massive game collector besides wrestling fan.
Yeah, exactly. Those two things combine really well for our show, because he's the one putting all the games on. So yeah, you'll find some amazing titles on there. So come down and play.
You mentioned earlier about Santino having a great mind. I think when you guessed this year, Al Snow's got a great wrestling mind. The Wrestlers series on Netflix, I thought was fantastic, well done. And I think he's got a great mind for the business.
Alhaj, yeah. I mean, this year, I mean, you know, every year is different, and every fan's going to go, well, I think that year's better. I think that year's better. I think I like the guest at that year better, and that's, you know, that's just personal opinion. I'm sure there's no science behind it. It's, you know, it's horses for courses, so to speak. But I think this year, particularly, I think this year's probably going to have the best panels. And the reason why I think that is you're going to have, first of all, Team Bestie panel is going to be a hell of a lot of fun. You're going to have people who are not backwards in coming forwards. I'm thinking about people like Ken Shamrock, Rhino. You know, if people know about Rhino's background, incredibly clever bloke. He's got into politics as well. Gangrel, who's a hell of a lot of fun. Shelton Benjamin, again, an incredibly clever guy. Matt Riddle's never backwards in coming forward. Sean Waltman, you know, you look at his career, you know, I can't wait to hear what he's got to say. Rikishi, an amazing career. Nick Namath, again. Slaughter, Sergeant Slaughter, that is one Q&A I am definitely listening to. Scott Steiner's panel is probably going to be standing room only. I'll warn everybody now. Al Snow, an amazing mind for the business. Swoggle, Jake Hagan, Mark Mero, again. You know, he's a very, very clever guy. Maria, a lot of people don't know, Maria runs her own female promotion these days. And again, Enzo, who for me is one of the most charismatic guys to step into a wrestling ring in the last few years. So, I mean, the panels this year for me, I think they're going to be the best ever. If I had to sell, you know, one reason to come to this show, it would be for the panels. And all of those panels, by the way, are included within the price of your entry ticket.
For all the panels that are there, what would you expect each wrestler will get asked about? What would you expect?
Well, to be honest with you, it's, you know, that's a great question. We don't know because we don't ask the majority of the questions.
Because I could think of a few with some of the lists.
We like to bring the people back up on stage. We like to just do what we call a couple of little intro questions. Yeah, I mean, we'd sort of ask some very, very, you know, high-level questions, some introductory questions, how they found in Manchester, what they thought of the day, how the fans been, maybe something about something they've recently done in their career, and then bang, we hand it over to the fans.
I'm looking at some of the people there on that list. I could think
because it's the fans' panels at the end of the day.
I'm just looking at some of that list there, and I could think, like, if I'm there, I know what I'd be asking certain people.
Many questions you could ask.
If I was to ask, if I say I'm looking at Rikishi there, I'd ask him about the whole thing that happened with Rock and Austin. The whole I did it for the Rock. That would be his talking point. With
yeah.
I suppose with and maybe with Mandy Rose, it'd obviously be about being fired from WWE because of the OnlyFans account.
I'll be going through the whole lineup here. We'll be here all night.
I know. I'm just thinking of a few people. I'm just thinking of, and then I suppose.
So how?
Yeah.
One more. Just pick one more. With Lita.
Again, let's not go through the lineup.
Just be quick. I promise to be quick. With Lita, you're thinking maybe everything that happened with Matt Hardy and Edge.
Yeah,
I suppose.
So how? She's probably in fairness, she's probably been asked that to death. Sorry. I'd probably. I
suppose my final question is: so how did booking guests?
The fans will ask what they like.
So, I mean, last year you had. I mean, you kind of put me on the spot here. Tori Wilson, does she have connections to Liam and Trish Stratus, or is it word of mouth, or like you've said, wrestlers come in and say, can we come to the convention?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, we do get guests approach us and ask to come to the convention. Obviously, we've got our list as well of people we want to come to the convention. We've that list. We had a long list at the start back in 2019, and that list continues to grow of people we'd like to appear on the show. And you know, each year we tick more of those names off. I mean, you know, I think of people like Ken Shamrock and really pleased to get them over as well. But you know, we're really looking forward to every guest this year. It's a really nice, diverse lineup of promotions and eras and just personalities. So yeah, it's as I say, that if you're going to do anything this year, get into some of those panels and you know, meet some of those guys as well, and make sure you come and watch. You know, you spend time in the. We really like to support the British independent wrestling scene as well. So get around the Future Shot guys, and you know, I'm sure people like Lana Austin, you know, those types of people will be around the show at the weekend as well. And you know, they're the future of British wrestling and perhaps the future of international wrestling as well. So it's always great to meet them. So yeah, as I say, it's going to be a lot of fun over the weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to try and chat to the Progress wrestlers, and I believe last year Top Rock was meant to be there, but then I think something happened, so unfortunately they weren't there. But yeah, I always try and go and chat to them.
Top Rope, whichever that meant to be there last year. Top Rope. We did something with Top Rope back in Liverpool. Obviously when that worked, and we absolutely were big fans of the. As I say, we are huge fans of the top rope guys. We work with them. It was myself actually, funny enough, we worked with them. We devised the beer, the flavour. They were amazing guys, and we still fully support those guys today. Obviously, it's a little bit different when we move the venues. But yeah, I mean, you know, if in the right circumstances, we'd have the top rope guys back in half a second. Wonderful team.
Yes. Any more questions, Ian? Quickly. Muted. Well,
so just while you're waiting, guys, obviously for anybody who's not familiar with the show itself, please make sure you get into probably the most primary place to find all the information you need is the Facebook page. I mean, we're on all the normal social medias, Twitter, Insta, all that type of thing. But if you search for the Love of Wrestling on Facebook, Rick, I'm sure you can put some links on the on this as well. You know, you'll find the page very quickly. It's got over 100,000 followers, and primarily that's where you'll see most of the information for the event.
Is it on YouTube as well, like so that people can watch streams of the interviews, of the panel interviews?
Yeah. So if you go onto the Monopoly Events, YouTube channel, there's the panels from all of our previous shows on there, so you can watch some amazing things on there. Some of them have been viewed over 500,000 times. I'm thinking about the New Age Outlaws one, which was standing room only. That was a very emotional one. That, you know, they're two of the funniest guys you could ever hope to meet. They also happen to be as close as brothers, so they bounce off each other amazingly. They spent some time talking about China, bless her as well, and you know, so that was an amazing one. But yeah, if you want to watch any of the panels from our previous shows, please visit the Monopoly Events YouTube channel. You can see them all on there.
I'm already subscribing to it now. I'm just looking at it now. Brilliant. Yeah, you've got a big list here. Yeah, you've got a big list. Legends of Love of Wrestling. You've got Love of Sci-Fi.
Yeah. I mean, they've got.
It's very good.
Right then, so yeah, join me, and I'll definitely catch you at the event. And yeah, so yeah, thank you once again.
You have Jesse Ventura here.
Thank you very much for having me on, gents.
I'm just looking at your page there.
Absolute pleasure.
No problem. You seem to have. I'm just looking at the page there.
It's a good one.
Right then, right, so yeah, right. Thank you, James. Right, okay then.
Oh, I wanted to talk about. Oh, yeah, Jesse Ventura there. I would have liked to have said
something.
Right then,
so he's not got all night to be talking. So let's go to our first segment here. So a great interview. So yeah, get yourself down March 2nd, 3rd next month. Love Wrestling. Great panel, great guests. There's panels, there's Take UK, Future Shot Wrestling, Progress Wrestling, Sean Waltman, X-Pac, evening with him, Cosplay Wrestling, Cosplay competition, of course, I'm Roman Reigns. And for those who've never been to it, a convention, if you're not that fussed about the photos and signs, you just want to meet the wrestlers, that's free. So but yeah, so his first segment here so what's cooking at the table? So what have I been up to? What we've been up to? Usual gym, and last week my craft thing. I made an NXT Vengeance Day card. I should have really been prepared for this, but kind of been able to show you what I made. But like I made like a key ring with Roman Reigns logo on it, and it's got like a ribbon thing on it, and a ring, and I replaced it with Roman Reigns' name. And yeah, that's what I've been up to. What have you been up to, Ian?
I was away for the weekend in Waterford for a friend's birthday.
Is that in Ireland?
Yes, it is in the countryside. Stayed in the hotel, went out,
then,
saw the match. Was it?
So segment 2 here is so we'll first of all read that comment. I believe this is Brian Keith, but they
Bounty Keith.
Because we are wrestlers. Yes, but he says he's Brian Keith. Wrestlers, I don't know why it's that.
Bounty
anyway,
Keith.
We didn't watch podcasters, we are human. Right, yes, Bounty Keith. I'm not a deaf Keith. I'm not deaf, or apparently Brian
Say
Keith.
a word, Chase.
Which I don't believe. But anyway.
It may be if it might be him.
So where's that? Why's that banner just gone off? Did I not press it on? Movies I've seen. Oof. Damn. Again, I should have been prepared for this. Oh no, I do remember. Role play was last Wednesday's film. No, not last Wednesday. Friday. I don't know. Anyway, I watched Role Play. Yeah, decent film. Octaves. Ugh. It was okay. And last night's was Orion and the Dark on Netflix. A kiddie film. That was okay. But later we're going to watch, with John Cena in it, Argyle. So have you watched any films
on my list
since last week?
I have not gone to any film. No, not yet. I have a few films on my list this month. Argyle might be one of them. I do want to see The Iron Claw. That's out at the moment, but I've heard really good things about that. I want to see the Bob Marley movie, and I want to see Madam Web. So that's on my list for this month.
Again, I've said this weeks ago. And there's not one movie I've seen so far that I thought, yeah, I'd want to. If they're in the cinema, if all the movies I've seen, some of them definitely aren't, but if they were, there's not one film that would go, oh yeah, I should have gone to the cinema to watch that. No. So I'm going to play an ad here, and then we'll get into some wrestling talk. So that's indeed right. Protein Tees Gullman's, all my designs. Go and have a look. Go and have a look at the new designs that are up and my socials on screen right now. Take a look at those. But let's get into the next segment here. My next killing me, but I'll just carry on. I think I've slightly funny. Anyway, so the next segment is. Oh, right. With Ricky Gullman. I went to a show on Saturday. Yeah, it was okay. Very much. There too many kids running around, and I get it. I was one of those kids one day, and you look at these wrestlers as stars, even though they're kind of complete nobody. I get that, but they're there to watch wrestling and not be running around. But the show was okay. And I'm going to show this Sunday, Wrestle Island, then on the 16th, then on the 23rd, and then Elimination Chamber watch party on the 24th. So a very busy month.
That sounds like a busy month.
And then next month, Love Wrestling, and I've got another wrestling show as well. So yeah, very busy. Anyway, the next segment is this. Wrestling. We'll start with Dynamite, I think. Oof. Was it Dynamite? I have no idea. Oh dear. Ugh. Oof. Did you watch last week's Dynamite? Did Eddie Kingston beat Brian Keith? Was that was that Dynamite?
Yeah, I watched it last week, but he wasn't on it.
That must have been like I did it. Oof. John Moxley beat Jeff Hardy.
That's right, he did. He got attacked by the CML.
Was that Dynamite?
The CM.
Was that Dynamite?
Yes, that was Dynamite.
Right then. Okay then. So I've got the result. So yeah, John Moxley defeated Jeff Hardy. Okay. Hangman Adam Page knocked off Toa Leona. Never heard of him. Who's that?
Toa Leona. I know this one. Come back to me in a couple of minutes.
Commander continued his ways. He lost to Wardlaw. Okay. Chris Jericho. Sorry,
Tony Leona. He's from the Mogul Embassy Swerves group.
Oh, right, irrelevant then. And he's not part of the bloodline. Doesn't matter. Chris Jericho knocked off Carl Fletcher. Okay. Deonna Purrazzo continued to win ways against Taya Valkyrie, and Swerve Strickland also continued to win ways against Rob Van Dam. So your thoughts on all of that?
That was a very good match with Swerve and Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam is 53 and he can still go. He's a lot older than Dwayne, but he can still go.
Not in the shape of the Rock, though, is he?
He's in quite good shape. He's in good shape.
Not in the shape of the Rock. Like the Rock's, just look at him at 52, 51, 52. I don't think I've got Collision results unless this happened on Collision. And this must have been Rampage then. But Eddie Kingston beat Brian Keith. Brian Danielson beat, Jesus, I'm going to butcher this name, Hutch Isario.
Oh, he was from the one of the CMLL luchadors that are currently featured on AEW at the moment. They're all going to be facing Blackpool Combat Club tonight.
Hulk beat the Outrunners. Serena Deeb defeated Queen Amanita. Red Velvet beat Vert Vixen. Who comes up with these names? And FTR and Daniel Garcia defeated Christian Cage, Killswitch, and Nick Wayne. Okay, a bronze. Your thoughts for all of that?
I did not. I was away, so I couldn't have seen Collision.
I think that was Rampage. I don't think you missed much anyway. Collision. That might have been either Rampage or Collision if I'm mixed up. Well.
I think that was Collision.
So SmackDown. I will. Okay, either way. Now SmackDown.
SmackDown. Everyone was talking about.
SmackDown. So once we get right. Okay. So once we get to the end, we're just gonna say what happened, and we'll go over this later on. So Wade Barrett on commentary. Cool, yeah, I like Wade. I think Wade Barrett and Corey Graves are a good mix. What do you think?
Yes, they are actually. Now they are actually pretty good mix. It's good to have two wrestlers mixed up instead of one announcer and one wrestler.
Oh, Jim Ross and Drew Lawler always worked well together. Michael Cole works well together with anybody. So Logan Paul came out with a promo. Then Kevin Owens did. Kevin Owens went on to beat Austin Theory. Okay, I presume they're now going to do a US Chamber match, and Owens is in it probably. Tommy and Pete Dunne defeated Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly LWO on the Legado del Fantasma in a fatal 4-way match. This was fantastic. What did you think of this?
Yeah, it was actually a pretty fun match now, and now they're going to be facing... Oh, no, we'll get to Raw and you can say that. But yeah, it was a good match. I'm liking Tyler and Pete Dunne.
As of SmackDown, WrestleMania is 64 days away, not anymore. This was just on SmackDown. Damage Control came out. I thought this was a good segment. And then Bayley spoke Japanese. She attacked Io, getting Bayley versus Io at Mania. I think Io should win. I think Bayley's gonna win. What did you think of this?
Oh, it was done well. It was very hints of Batista and Triple H for WrestleMania 21.
Yeah, especially when she was listening into them. Yeah. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits taking on final testament contest. I just felt this as a complete waste of time. This is going nowhere. What did you think?
They'll have to have a stipulation in the next one to settle it. Yeah, but there seems to be no winner. There hasn't been any winner so far, but someone has to get a win. But I still seems to be
going nowhere. Fast. It's still not interesting. Still not interesting. It's still just nobody cares. Anyway, Tiffany Stratton has made her main roster debut. She's going to be now full time on SmackDown as she defeated Michin. What did you think of this?
It's good to see her getting that up. She really impressed moving up. She really impressed the Royal Rumble. She had done everything in NXT. So now this move up, she is definitely a top star in the making in the women's division.
And like I said, we're just going to say what happened on SmackDown. We'll go over what all this means next and all the horrible, weird, crazy hatred going on. While your Tribal Chief Roman Reigns comes out, completely buries Seth Rollins in the world. He buried it, dug it up, and buried it again. What did you think of that?
I suppose, yeah. Well, he still knows how to bury someone anyway. He still
definitely. But maybe he was done it. I know Reigns gets creative control, and he probably doesn't. His promos aren't scripted, but surely he ran this by somebody. He ran this by The Rock, or he ran by somebody, and he had an idea he was going to say. And surely, and Reigns knows what he's doing. He's not an idiot. He knows by burying the title that makes Rollins look weak. So maybe this was done all by design.
Well, he knows how to do it naturally.
But he's not an idiot. He knows that if he buries Rollins, that just makes Rollins look bad, and he doesn't want to do that. So,
No, he should.
Like I said, I think this has all been all a grander plan. Cody Rhodes came out, and of course, the man himself, if you smell, here he comes, The Rock, and what a pop! And he got a pop, which theme music plays, and out he comes. So, at least for this band, the fans on SmackDown, they didn't care that he's seemingly taking Cody's spot. So, we'll discuss what this means later on the segment.
It's going to start at a very mind-boggling situation, because it says that Cody has given up his spot, which is more likely he hasn't really, and now we seem to be building towards another triple threat match as we get to the big number in WrestleMania.
Won't be a triple threat. We'll get to that later. But I'm just talking about the segment itself. Cody coming out,
yeah,
not
it was
coming
good.
out.
It was good. It's just
your thoughts on that?
It was good. Like, you could see the look in Cody's face that he looked sad about giving up the spotlight, but like, he's got lots of great acting lessons in him, just like The Rock. So, and then just the stare off, like, it makes you wonder: is the match what kind of match we're going to? What is it? Is it 1-on-1? Will it lead to something else? It just starts to wait and see. But like, it was all done to cover up everything that's going on with Vince McMahon, which some approve of, some don't.
Exactly. That's one of the things That's one of the things I'm going to get to later. I do think, very quickly they stick to Rock Reigns, because the thing on the lower third, the thing on the bottom saying live press conference, whatever it was, on Thursday was very well done. Here's The Rock. This is Rock Reigns. Stay off. But by the way, we've got this. So yeah, I just really can't see him changing it. Now take out. It was a good SmackDown even without The Rock, I thought. But I'll say silver to gold, I think.
I'd say gold.
Look, results that we just run these quickly. Hank Walker and Tank Ledger beat Tyson DuPont and Tariq Igwe. Okay. Blair Davenport picked up a fresh match win against Carly Bates, and Brooke Jensen continued his winning ways against Dante Chen. I'll say silver. I'll say. Now, if that was either Collision or Rampage, I don't know. But of course, Vengeance Day. Before we go any further, Vengeance Day. Have you had a chance to watch it?
Not yet. But I saw the highlights on NXT on Tuesday.
Okay, then you actually missed the wrestling show, but anyway.
Not missed. I can still watch it.
You can't be like me and wrestling. I suppose everything's not like me, and wrestling is just your number one thing in life and forget everything else, but okay. Bron Breakker, Baron Corbin defeating Trick Williams, coming, no shock there. What else happened?
Lyra Valkyrie retained.
I'm not going to go in order here, but OTM lost to the family. That was a bit of a shocker. I thought you'd have the family lose, and OTM would then go on to get a title shot. Dijak, Joe Gacy put on a good match. This is May Dijak, I think. He defeated Joe Gacy, and I don't think Joe Gacy looks bad in defeat. Obafemi, who really should have just not squashed. I get you're making stars, but that match went on way too long for the size of Obafemi and Dragon Lee, but he retained. Lyra Valkyrie also retained. You never made Lola Vice. Well, not a star. There is no stars in NXT, but a star of the future. And Ilya Dragunov retained, and of course, the turn came. Ella Hayes. They're probably billing to a match to stand and deliver, I would imagine. I can't see it happening on. I know you got the NXT still Roadblock coming up, but I would have thought that's maybe a weekend. Yeah, good NXT. Say a silver. So for Raw, there, yeah, I think. Yeah. So Seth Rollins came out, and again, we're just going to discuss the segment and what this means later on in the here bit. Seth Rollins came out, Cody Rhodes did, and then Drew McIntyre did. Drew McIntyre's a hell of a heel right now. What do you think of all of this?
It's really got heat on Seth Rollins now because nobody wants that match. They want Cody to take his spot with Rock and Reigns. Like, I don't think it needs to be Seth and Cody. Like, it was a good segment now, especially adding Drew McIntyre in there as well, especially showing off his new shirt. But like, it's showing that the fans, they don't want Cody to go for the world title. They want him to go for the heavyweight.
They won't, but they're going to want it, and I'll get to how they're going to want it. How they will definitely want it later on. DIY defeated Three Brothers, Imperium, and New Day in the Fatal 4-Way match. They're now going to go on to face Talabay. So unfortunately, you're kind of breaking the brand split rule here, but it is what it is. This was a good Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, it was good to see DIY getting back in there after the match they had with Judgment Day, and now they're going to be facing Bate and Dunn on SmackDown.
Elimination Chamber qualifying match, Becky Lynch to beat Shayna Baszler, and this was a good match. This is a match that Shayna should be putting on weekly.
It was like, that was about 4 years in the making after their last one. I thought Shayna would get the win, but then Becky goes in. But more likely next week it's Liv Morgan versus Zoe.
Oh, your Wi-Fi went out then.
I was just saying Liv Morgan and Zoe Stark is next week, so I could see that being them being the final two in the chamber match.
Rhea Ripley came out, Adam Pearce came out, then Nia Jax did, and now you're getting Nia Jax versus Rhea Ripley at Elimination Chamber for the title.
A lot
of people thinking this is a Rock's doing. Is it? No, he won't. Do we a chamber match? It's not called Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. What's the event called? Elimination Chamber. That's what's the main event. Just like the Rumble, main evented the Rumble. It's not called, as much as we all love Reigns, it's not called Roman Reigns versus 3 other guys. It's called Royal Rumble. But a lot of people think this is a Rock's to put his family as much as he. And if he is, well, why not? Ivar and Valhalla beat Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree. Again, I like the push that I was getting. What you?
Do you think Maxine Dupree is a bad wrestler? Do you think Maxine Dupree is a bad wrestler?
Not exactly Bret Hart.
No, but do you think she should?
Well, Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart now.
She got up too early. She should go back to developmental.
I don't know. No. I'll say no. The Miz beats JD McDonough. Okay.
We're definitely setting up for Awesome Truth Reunion taking on the Judgment Day at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Is that really a Mania match? Anyway. Ivor in the Gunther, and this is how fickle the fans are. Out come Uso, related to The Rock, and they're all, here he is, and you saw the whole crowd love it. But he's completely forgot, like that, all about Rock and Cody. So this is why it really doesn't matter. And now apparently they might be setting up for Elimination Chamber. I know Gunther can't go, but surely they can sort that out. Kabuki Warriors retain their women's tag team titles against Cade and Carter Katana Chance. So I thought we're getting into interference here. Is that your phone? I don't know. Anyway, I thought this was a decent match, and apparently the crowd were very quiet again. Well, it's not Cody Rhodes again. It just like ugh. Sami Zayn did a sit-down interview that I thought was good. I think he's getting the title shot at Mania. I think they're doing a fatal four-way. We'll get to why later. And of course, your main event, bull rope match, not cowbell. Cody Rhodes beat Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay, I'll say bronze to silver. This just builds Cody Rhodes even further.
And then Drew McIntyre came out, and then Sami Zayn saved him.
Yeah, that's why I think it fell off away at Mania. Smack on NXT, Byron Saxton filling in the role for Booker T. Okay. Carmelo Hayes, heat magnet, just sat there letting all the heat build. Fantastic. Baron Corbin, who now gets Braun cheered. That wasn't that long ago. He was getting booed out of the building. And now they're getting cheered. They're a great team. What did you think of them?
Yeah, I do like them very well. They blend together. They're funny together. We're seeing a funny side to Braun Breaker. So yeah, I am liking them. This is some of Baron Corbin's best work.
This is really revitalized Baron Corbin. Nathan Fraser and Axiom defeated Idris Enofi and Malik Blade. What? That was a really good match.
That was fun. I think
Malik Blade and Idris Enofi have really stepped up. They've really stepped.
That was a fun match.
I've written something here. Oh dear. Ilya Dragunov came out, and then Dijak did, and apparently he actually hit Knowles. Apparently somebody slowed it down, and he actually hit him. Oh, damn. But I think Dijak has, being put in the title picture is a good idea. What do you think?
Well, I think he should be. His contract is running out this summer, so hopefully, he'll resign. If not, he goes to TNA or goes to meet Keith Lee in AEW. So we just have to wait and see till after the summer.
He hasn't really had not buried. He'd get a month build and then be like all the rest of AEW. You'd never see him again. Not never. Well, whatever. Lexus King defeated. I think I love what they're doing here. Riley needs Thea in his corner, otherwise he feel he can't win. And I really like what they're doing here. What's your opinion?
Well, Lexus King is still one of my favorites now. Like he will have a bright future in WWE.
The Riley Osborne stuff, he can't win without Thea in his corner. What did you think of that?
No, I don't think so. No, I think he wasn't expected to beat Lexus King. I don't think he was expected to beat Lexus King, and now he's got a date with Tia Hale on Valentine's Day.
But the storyline is he can't win with his card. He feels like he needs her, so I think that's fantastic. Roxanne Perez beat Lola. Okay, good match. And Jakara Jackson are continuing their push as they beat Fallon Henley and Ren Sinclair. What did you think of this match?
That one was good. Now I like I forget their name. Sorry. Yeah, it was a good match there. But Fallon Sinclair, Fallon Henley didn't. Fallon Henley didn't feel happy about it now. And then there was a segment with Briggs and Jensen where Jensen is really starting to miss the old days and Briggs is telling him to man up.
And of course, before we get to the main event, we forgot the biggest talk about points of NXT. Carmelo Hayes promo. Fantastic.
Yes, that was good. Very gangster.
Definitely. This was really good.
Here's a question: like, if they're going into this feud with Trick and Hayes, do you see it in the vein of feuds like, if done well, it'll be like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, and Kyle O'Reilly, something like that?
I think it'd be a one and done. I think he loses to Trick.
And then he goes
and deliver and be moved to the main roster full time, probably.
I think they could extend that feud to 3 rounds.
No, well, it'd be one and done. Ilya Dragunov defeated Dijak. Out came Carmelo Hayes. Are they doing what Hayes? No, they're not doing Hayes. Sure, they're not doing. They're teasing Hayes, and Trick's going to cost Hayes leading to the match. That's what they're going to do. Silver to gold. So at least they could do Ilya Hayes at Raw, and Trick costs Hayes a title. That's what they're going to do. Silver to gold. Yeah, I thought a good NXT, despite all the horrible harassment the Rockstars have been getting, but we'll get to that in here soon. What's your rating for NXT?
Chance for Ava anyway.
So I'll play another round. So John will talk Reigns and all that and what that means. So he's right, all my socials, and me, follow me, like and subscribe to this. We'll do get to our final segment now, which is so news and headlines. So first of all, so John Laurinaitis has apparently come out and said he's all innocent. It's all Vince. Vince is a bad guy. Vince made me do this. Do you believe that, or is he just trying to save his own back?
It's a simple case of trying to save your own hole. That's all you need to know about that. And apparently now it was confirmed today that there's no chance of Vince McMahon ever coming back.
Yeah, okay. Even if he's
Ari Emanuel has addressed, has said that, has confirmed with every WWE superstar that Vince is never coming back.
Even if he's found not guilty, he's still probably done all this.
There'll be no chance in hell. Like, they're not going to take the risk with him. With these. If he was brought back, then
a little bit of an update on Brock Lesnar. He actually seems to be gone forever now. He's been out of the Legends 2K24 cover. So we want to do a quick thoughts on that.
Repeat the question.
Brock Lesnar been took off the WWE 2K24 Legends cover, so it looks like he's probably never going to be coming back either.
No, I'd say after that he's done. Like, sure, like we were doing the quiz yesterday, and he was taking off a quiz. He was taking off a question. Remember we were playing the Elimination Chamber Minecraft, and I clicked Brock Lesnar and it just went to boom.
Yeah, right. See, to put fans going that far, like people are actually going that far. People actually have the time to do this. Fair enough. I would spend my time watching wrestling, but there you go. a big news story. What all of this means, what The Rock's return means. So, I've got notes. Some of these are just something and nothing. Some of these are why this match is happening, why they won't change it, and some are, could they change it? But probably not. So, The Rock versus Reigns is a much bigger, better, more money, star-studded, marquee, attention-grabbing match. He's going to make lots and lots and lots of money. The whole world is talking about it. What does WB want? Everybody talking about them, and they've got that. They've been talking about in sports. Apparently, Cody Rhodes' team got played in a baseball team. George Kittle, I think an NFL player, American football, he's talking about it. Matt Cardona apparently took a swipe to The Rock. Again, was that just planned? Who knows? Who knows all these things? Did Triple H or somebody in WWE say to Ziggler or Cardona, I'll say something about The Rock? So the world is talking about WWE heading into WrestleMania. That's what they want. Cody Rhodes doesn't get talking about WWE. The casuals don't know who Cody Rhodes is. Well, some casuals have no idea. You walk down the street and mention Cody Rhodes, they look at you like you're speaking Japanese. They don't know him. Outside the wrestling bubble, Cody Rhodes is an absolute zero. To prove he's a zero, The Rock has 400 million followers on Instagram, and Cody has 1.4. So that's not even, I think that's like less than 1%. And The Rock gets paid for putting posts on Instagram. Cody Rhodes doesn't. The Rock does. So that's even less than 1% of The Rock's followers. So The Rock is a global megastar, whereas outside the wrestling bubble, Cody Rhodes is nobody. So The Rock gets people talking, Cody Rhodes doesn't. And all this dislike, and The Rock doesn't care about dislike, he cares about that. Don't care what the fans think. The Rock's looking at this as a bigger picture, growing WWE, making as much money as possible. If some marks on the internet want to, we'll get to that. Marks on the internet, oh dear, he's going to cry. She's going to cry when he sees that massive paycheck. But the dislike that the YouTube thing, 500,000 dislikes. Yeah, it got 5 million views. The Rock and Reigns face off, we've got 70 million views in 24 hours. So you think The Rock cares about a few marks disliking a video? Is that what you think? He doesn't.
He's embracing the hate. He's embracing the hate. One thing about The Rock, he's good at embracing hate. And he's enjoying what they're doing with this so far.
Money, he cares about that. That's all he cares about. Money.
That's what I'm saying. He's embracing the hate.
This affects him.
No, he's embracing the hate.
He doesn't care. Well, you think that he cares about Cody Rhodes and him finishing his story? Does he? Hell. Well, he does if it means money. But does he have think, Cody Rhodes, you must finish your story? No. He don't care. He'll care.
Then why is there report?
That's all they care. He's on the board.
Then why did a report come out saying that he's 100% behind Cody Rhodes? The Rock. It was informed in a report that The Rock is 100% behind Cody Rhodes.
Because it means that. It means that. I mean, if it means money, of course he's going to be behind. He'll be able to keep Keir to Tower if it means money for him. Because he's on the board. He's one step lower than Ari Emanuel. There's Ari Emanuel. There's The Rock. They run TKO. So of course he's behind him. It means money. But does he think, Cody Rhodes needs to finish his story? It's not real, it's made up, and wrestling's not real and made up, and nobody really wins or loses. And these marks are just marks. Do you think the right cares about all of that? No, you're looking at paychecks. You're looking at zeros on the dom. You're looking at, how much money can we make here? So it means Cody Rhodes will. I don't think Rock Reigns is as predictable. If you Reigns, Cody, you know who's winning that. You know Cody's winning. Unless you have Reigns win again, and then WWE have failed with Cody, and it means a Rumble win, that we'll get to here soon, means nothing. Cody Rhodes, Reigns is 100% predictable, and if Cody Rhodes isn't the name The Rock is, fans will turn off. I don't think Rock Reigns is as predictable. It could go either way because there's rumors Rock's winning. There's rumors is Rock Cody possibly at SummerSlam. And a wrestling YouTuber I watched said they could have done this match last year. Why didn't they?
Because The Rock wasn't ready.
The Rock wants to win. No,
well,
The Rock wants to win.
There's another way to do it. Yeah, okay.
He's coming in to win.
Both matches could be predictable to some, but the simple other way is do a triple threat and you could go either way. Rock could win, Cody could win, or Roman could win and break Hogan's record. So it goes either way.
Well, I never knew that. I didn't know that Cody Rhodes was Samoan. Is he Samoan?
No.
No.
I
so
said
how
Cody
does he fit
could
into
win.
a bloodline, real life? No. Cody's Samoan. No.
No, he's not.
Frickin'. He's not Samoan like The Rock. He's not Samoan like The Rock. He's not Samoan like Roman Reigns. So he does not fit in to something The Rock wants to go after the head of the table to save his family. So Cody's not Samoan. He doesn't fit.
But at the moment now, The Rock is getting a lot of hate for this. So if they do make it a triple threat, then you have to turn The Rock heel for this occasion. And maybe if Cody wins, he'll go back
Cody
to
Samoan? Is Cody Samoan? Is Cody Samoan?
Well, like the reason you could have a triple threat.
No, he's not.
No,
he
but
doesn't.
you could.
He doesn't fit. He doesn't fit into a thing that's real. He's not Samoan.
The reason is, the reason I'm saying make it a triple threat. Yeah, but just let me talk. Make it a triple threat and be first time wrestlers from 3 generations of family met in a triple threat.
But he's not Samoan.
So what?
That's
it's 3
the whole
generations of
point.
wrestlers.
The Rock came back. Who gives a shit about that? He's not Samoan. The Rock came back and Raw said, I want to be the head of the table. So he was The Rock, who's Samoan. Samoan. Family. Real life. It's a real life thing. Not some made up story that Cody's got to finish that it's not real. Wrestling's not real. The Rock is coming back to save the family. Both Samoan. Cody Rhodes does not fit into that at all.
Yeah, he does it. All right. There's the Rock and Reigns story, but there's also Cody trying to have his story. And plus, The Rock has been at the top so far. If he wants to stay for the family table, he doesn't have to win the title. He just has to beat Reigns. So Cody could have his win at the title, and then Rock and Reigns get another match, say SummerSlam.
So Cody Rhodes story that one.
This is doing wonders. Like this whole thing. Yeah, this whole thing is doing wonders for Cody Rhodes.
No. The wrestling's not real. Cody Rhodes doesn't exist. Cody Rhodes. Let's peel back to him, shall we? Cody Rhodes isn't really going to win the title because Roman Reigns isn't really champion because wrestling's not real and no one's really champion.
But then Rock doesn't win the title.
Do that.
If wrestling's not real, if wrestling's not real, then Rock is not going to really be the champion either.
Correct. Putting the title on The Rock is like mega news and mega money. That's what it's looked at.
I know. But it's basically another part-timer holding the title. The only family holding the title.
And then Reigns is holding it. Reigns is going to part-timer. He's going to hold the title. All these fans complaining. Number one. Would it be Roman Reigns? And who was it when on Friday? The Rock. Money. Yes. They're making money already. It's a Vince thing as well. How many people are talking about that now? Not one. Not one person is talking about the Vince thing. So they've completely got away from that. I think that has played a factor here.
Okay, like, yeah, they want to have a story
want...
that people. They want to have a story that people can invest in, but it's also wrong not to cover what Vince has done, in sympathy for the person who may be the victim.
They want to completely get away from that. They don't want any bad press into the year. They're big all time, and they don't want any fans not watching. I'm not saying fans have stopped watching, but there might be some that have because of the Vince stuff. Now you've just brought those plans back in because of The Rock. So I think that has played a factor. And I do think plans have changed. The Vince stuff has played a factor. Punk being injured has played a factor. Lesnar being out. Doesn't matter why he's out, it matters. Lesnar, doesn't matter why Lesnar's out, it matters he is out. It's a massive blow to WWE. So I think that's all really played into this. You say about SummerSlam and they're kind of going back and forth here, but apparently there's rumours Cody, and I think Cody's going for the world title or second here, but Cody wins the world title, Reigns retains, or The Rock beats him, and it's title unification. I know, like it or not, hate it or not, agree with it or not. They're in this mess because of Reigns. The world title was invented because of Reigns. So now, if that's the plans, you imagine Cody wins that. So then Cody's gonna be on both shows, and you're leaving the show without a champion. And how boring does it get when he's twice a week now going to go, "What do you want to talk about?" I'm already bored with that. I'm even more bored.
I don't think they're going to have Cody go for the world title, and then there was talk to have a unification match with the winner of Rock versus Roman. No, I don't think they'll do that either. I think there'll be some swerve done at the press conference. I think there'll be some swerve done at the press conference because we've seen now what this is doing for Cody Rhodes. Like, the job of this was to really get him over, because they probably knew that, like, Cody probably knew this, The Rock knew this, Reigns knew this, Triple H knew this, that just because he's won twice, it means, like, people won't get too invested. They might find it boring. So they needed a way to spice it up, thus bringing in The Rock. So I reckon there's going to be a swerve at the press conference on Thursday.
Well, to be a swerve, Cody's going to have to become Samoan, which is not going to happen in the next 24 hours,
Cody and his movement comes in.
Not Samoan. You're missing the point that this is all about. Samoan. He's not Samoan.
I know.
How does he fit into a Samoan storyline?
I know he's not
American.
Samoan, but he's...
The Rock's American, Reigns is American, but they both have Samoan heritage.
Yes.
Something I said a couple of weeks ago, and I've been proven right, The Rock has more power than Triple H, because Triple H answers to Nick Khan answers to The Rock, and it's Ira Emanuel and The Rock. They're now running TKO. I do think The Rock Hall of Fame is going to play into the story. You're going to have
think The Rock going into the Hall of Fame this year?
Going to the Hall of Fame. I think he does. So he's going to be the headliner this year.
I don't know if he'll go into the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he'll go into the Hall of Fame now this year, especially if he's wrestling a match. Like, you can't.
Yeah, because Ric Flair didn't go in the Hall of Fame. Flair didn't.
You can't have. I think you should just.
Flair?
What?
So Ric Flair didn't go in the Hall of Fame then, and he didn't wrestle?
On this occasion, I don't think he'll go into the Hall of Fame. I think because, like, he'll probably wrestle. Like, I'm just saying, I don't think he will go into the Hall of Fame this year because, along with this match of WrestleMania, the rumor of him wrestling at SummerSlam as well.
So they won't want the world. They won't want the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is very much catered to the hardcore fans, the casual fans. It's just talking. I doubt casual fans even watch it. So won't want for everybody watching the Hall of Fame for The Rock. They won't want to make WrestleMania all about The Rock. The Rock's going in the Hall of Fame. So is Heyman. That will play into the fact that The Rock think he is upstaging Paul Heyman. And Reigns has just beat another Hall of Fame, Goldberg, Rock. So they're going to do that as well. I think he goes in. I think he's your headliner this year. Won't be Batista. He's too, unless it is, I would say very much. Maybe that's what he's training for, to come back and go to the Hall of Fame, but I doubt it. I think Bray goes in, but he won't be the headliner. Who else have you got? That's it. The Rock.
If you're talking about Heyman going in, say if The Rock does go into the Hall of Fame and Paul Heyman goes in, if they make the match a triple threat, if you want somebody for the Cody side, do you put in Dustin Runnels, Goldust?
Who works for AEW, and again, Cody.
Yeah, but he's also
not Samoan.
He's also, but Dustin Rhodes is also a former WWE guy. He's been everywhere. He's about 50 years old and can still go. I mean, Billy Gunn got inducted into the Hall of Fame before he worked, and he was an AEW guy.
So let's get into the Cody again. I will drive home the fact that he's not Samoan, and this is a Samoan storyline, so he does not fit in. That's like having two Japanese wrestlers and going, oh, let's put an American in there because the fans, these fucking delusional weirdo marks, have decided to take it to the next level.
But does race really matter?
I will admit that does
race
the fact. It's about the head of the table. It's about being the tribal chief. Does it matter? Of course it bloody matters. That's what they're fighting for. The Rock to be the head of the table. You want to save the family.
Say if Cody gets added into this story. I mean, you have two Americans versus two Samoan. I mean, WrestleMania 10 was the two title matches involved a Japanese, an American, and a Canadian.
And how many of those were The Rock?
Well, one was Yokozuna.
No. How many of those were the biggest movie star in the world?
One was Yokozuna, related to The Rock and Roman Reigns.
How many of those were the biggest movie star in the world working for the board? Well, yeah, no. None of them were. How many? Name me a WrestleMania. Name me a match that has featured the biggest movie star in the world who works for the board. Oh, yeah, it never happened. So do you think once he's China? No, he doesn't. The Rock's, let's face it, The Rock's got an ego. The Rock's got an ego. That's how he's got to where he is. Again, like it or not, agree with it or not, love it or not, I'm just stating facts. He's to get where he is today. He's got an ego. He don't want Cody there taking his shine away. He wants it to be all about him.
Then why is he 100% behind Cody?
I will admit.
Wasn't there the reports? Hang on. Wasn't there the reports?
But
wasn't there also the reports as well that The Rock was getting people to hand out the "We Want Cody" chants?
Money.
So he's doing something to help Cody Rhodes get over, and it's going to be a sign that he can get into this.
Yeah, money. And in the long run, means money for the company. It means money for The Rock.
Yeah, it does mean money. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I agree. It means money. Yeah, it does.
Money.
Yes, of course, it means money for the company as well. But it helps Cody Rhodes become a star as well.
Which means more money for the company, which means more money for the TKO, which means more money for The Rock.
And more money for the business. Because you have to
that's what The Rock is looking at. He's looking at it as a pure business revenue.
Yes, and
eyes on the product.
Money. And how does a business make money as well?
Cody doesn't matter.
How does business make money? You satisfy your fans.
Otis could be in Cody's spot. And it would Rock be behind Otis. Akira Tozawa could be in spot. And The Rock could be behind Akira Tozawa. He's behind Cody because it makes The Rock money in the long run. He's not looking at some marks on the internet. You got money. Oh, how much can I make? Now, on SmackDown, I will admit that, yes, Cody looked like a complete and utter idiot. Lost last year. He clawed back, won the Rumble, pointed at Reigns. Said on SmackDown, that's the title I'm coming for. But here comes The Rock, I'm going to wait. I will admit that did look stupid. And if he's not going to be added. He'll be added because of the online hate. That's the one and only reason which we'll get to, and The Rock should not give in. Death threats have been given out. This is wrestling. It's not real. It's a form of entertainment. Fans have taken it too far and have even taken it further in the past. So if Cody didn't go after Rollins, he looks like he needs more of an idiot.
Cody.
Yeah, Amar called Amar this. Amark. So Cody,
Well,
so this
you're getting attention. You're getting attention on your podcast.
Speaks. So I didn't know he was on board working for WWE, but there you go. Maybe he is. Right. So if Cody doesn't go after Rhodes now, he looks like he's even more of an idiot. Cody won the Rumble to face a champion, be that Reigns, be that Rollins, at Mania, nowhere else. Not that Raw after, not that Reigns is going to be around, or imagine if he'll do Mania, be gone till SummerSlam. So Cody won't be getting a title shot after the Raw to SmackDown, or Raw, SmackDown, or Raw or SmackDown after Mania or SummerSlam or anywhere else but WrestleMania. I know Cena did it, but he ended up getting a title shot anyway at Mania. So Cody's going after Rollins. Cody's good, and this is not changing. Rock Reigns is a lot legally binding part of the Rock's deal. John, they cannot go back. I imagine they probably could be a massive headache and cost lots of money. The Rock doesn't want to be spending, so they cannot go back. Rock Reigns is a match. Cody will not be added, legally binding. Well, we are true to tell. Well, I'd actually do that, yeah. True catches in and beat Reigns, yeah. See, all these marks are. It should be Reigns Cody. It should be whatever. The real main event is right there. Reigns. Truth.
If only that was possible, that would probably be the shortest main event ever. Take 5 seconds, just one spear. Unless...
Truth would wait. So
I think something's going to go down. I think something is going to go down at the press conference.
He can't be added. Rock Reigns locked in. Can't be.
And what if he does? Now, hang on. What if he did get added? What if he did? What if he did get added? I mean, you wouldn't be breaking any
legally binding.
But what if he did get added? Just asking you now. What if he did get added? It wouldn't be breaking. It wouldn't be breaking any laws.
Legally binding, you can't. It's a law.
They wouldn't be breaking any laws. The Rock would still be in the match.
Of course he would.
The Rock would still be in the match. You'd just be throwing Cody in there.
No, No. Rock Reigns, that's what The Rock signed up for. That's in his contract. So yeah,
I think they'll show us.
Adding people, not part of the deal, not part of the plan. So Rock Reigns locked in. So tomorrow it's just a kick internet. Cody will then say, "Oh, I'm going to go after Rollins." You have Drew McIntyre intervene. Amen. Reigns, our truth. Drew McIntyre is going to come out, probably attack Cody. You then do Drew, Cody at Chamber. That's a big match for Drew. Winner faces Rollins, which Cody wins. Drew's not happy about this. He's then going to attack Cody. I save Sami Zayn. Doesn't that keep everybody happy? Zayn's getting a main event. Drew McIntyre's getting a main event. Rollins is. Cody is. You can do this without people hating on it because they don't want him to beat Reigns. There's people that don't want him to beat Reigns. And he can become world champion.
But we
also,
know, but like
the cash-in does Cody win. And that means less work for Rollins. If he really is injured, that's less work for Rollins. Everybody happy. Everyone's Rollins.
It doesn't really keep everybody happy because it won't be the match people wanted. It won't be the match. It won't be the title that they know they didn't want Cody to win.
Yes, but they will want it. They will want it because Rollins, because you're going to have Heyman on SmackDown Friday saying, once Rock Reigns gets made official, Heyman says, okay, now everyone's going to pay. Oh, Jimmy saw run rush all over SmackDown. Same on NXT. This now gets sympathy for it either, but they run rush over NXT. Raw as well. They cost Jey Uso the title. If they Elimination Chamber, or if they Chamber, they continue this till Elimination Chamber. And you see Jey just destroy everyone, every single show, everything. Jey would not be beating Gunther. Jimmy cost him the title, but that's how they get to Jimmy J. The bloodline destroy everybody weekly. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, week in, week out, week in, week out. And who's going to come to the save? Who are the fans going to be begging for? The Rock. And here he comes 1 week. He'll be in the ring. Here he comes. And once they realise that's the match happening, what's Cody going to do? It's only up. He's going to go to runs. There you go. You get the fans absolutely wanting this.
And what if Cody decides to play his part of stopping the bloodline as well? Because at the end of the day, we don't really know if this is a work or even legit. They're making us think it's either way. That's the good part about it.
The only happens in 2024 is CM Punk and takes him back. Well, I think Punk goes after Drew when he comes back. Yeah, so I think this helps everybody. It's everyone happy. People want Drew, Zayn, and Rollins in that main event. They want Cody in that main event.
But do they
and
really
I think Cody wins it.
They were booing the idea of Cody versus
people
Rollins.
Don't want Cody in the main event.
Also they booed Cody versus Sammy versus Drew versus Seth.
People don't want Cody in the main event. Isn't this what it's all about? It's all on the internet. The death rates galore. They want Cody in the main event. They do. Which isn't happening. Illegally binding. Raw Cody's not Samoan. And we'll get to the biggest reason why they definitely shouldn't change this in a minute. But this that keeps everyone happy, but then wrestling fans in general, again, like I said this last week, you give them everything they think they want, and they'll still find something to complain about. So play doesn't keep people happy; they'll still complain. You'll do Cody Reigns, people will complain. You do Cody Rock Reigns, people complain because ends complaining. So no one's ever purely truly happy, probably.
Sorry, yeah, it is.
But Cody's going to win, overcomes the odds, and who's going to hear me coming in to cash that spot away from him? Damian Priest, making him the ultimate heel, and if they're going to do Rock Reigns. That is beyond anything to do night one. Probably do this year. That's the biggest match they can do, I would imagine, ever. Biggest movie star in the world, TKO member, taking on a 3.5-year champion. Doesn't get better than that. So what are they going to do on night one? You know, Priest beat Reigns and Cody, and that's going to be the story for night one. And all these people doing these death threats are the hardcore fans that will watch anywhere. You could have Great Kelly, and then this is just me. This isn't going to happen. Definitely not going to happen. This is me just being silly. You could have Hulk Hogan versus Great Kelly as a main event, and the fans are crap all over it. Still going to watch, though. Are they going to WrestleMania after all this and they go, nah, not going to watch? What the hell? They're going to watch whatever the main event is. So really, doesn't matter. I I think Reigns is surpassing Hogan. You have Reigns beat The Rock, surpass Hogan, and then Cody wins. Then that's a much bigger win for Cody. Another thing I thought about yesterday is the 2K20.
It'd be more bigger win for WrestleMania 40. It'd be more bigger win if it happened at WrestleMania 40. If this
Reigns is
this isn't work.
Rock. No, it wouldn't. You don't hold the Reigns in, but he's Hogan third longest reigning champion ever. So that would make Reigns the third longest reigning champion ever. That's huge. I think that's what WWE are going to do. And Dave said last night, where does this end? People said, oh, Reigns is a 1,000-day mark. He did. There are people saying, he's got to surpass Hogan. He's going to do. And then is it, he's now going to surpass Bob Backlund. Why does he do that? Is it then he's got to go all the entire way and surpass Bruno?
8 years would be a bit too crazy, mate. 8 years would be a bit too crazy.
But where does it end? People are going to say, oh, he's got to surpass this person, he's got to do that, he's got to do that. And if he does it actually happens to surpass Bob Backlund, he might as well go the entire way. Might as well bloody well. But 2K24, who's on the cover? So this is where it kind of does come into play and where it does matter, because fans are going to rush out and buy the game because they're saying, oh, they more. Again, people playing online couldn't give a crap with the cover's blank. They're not going to see the cover, but it does mean more money and people are going to rush out and buy it. And the biggest reason why WWE shouldn't give in, I know you need to really sit and think about this and not just be ready to jump in and go, well, Cody should be added, or should be Cody versus Reigns. Really sit and think. A 22-year-old, The Rock's daughter, who's got nothing to do with this, trying to do her job and promote NXT.
No, you shouldn't threaten anyone.
Death threats.
You shouldn't threaten anyone. If you
people,
no, you shouldn't do that.
Marks have wished. People have want Roman Reigns' illness to come back. They have sent bomb threats. Roman Reigns, they've all had racial insults. Or there's something that isn't real. So hell no should The Rock give in to this. Fuck the Cody Marks. Fuck anybody that wants Cody to get the title shot. They've got a way. If they're going to be doing death threats online, or if it's one person, 10 people, or it's 1 million, if it's just one, hell no should The Rock give in. And yes, the fans have took it to attack Bret Hart Hall of Fame, and not that long ago, some fans wanted to stab Sonya Deville or something. That was a story. They were trying to kill her, or they got into her, however it was. Fans take it more. We know this. So is a fan very capable of attacking The Rock tomorrow night? I want to attack The Rock. Look at him. I'm sure he knows how to fight. And he'll have extra security, and he's not scared. All of that. But could they? Yeah.
They
wouldn't as
well.
Yeah.
Probably has
could they go after The Rock's daughter? Yeah. Right. But even the best security in the world can't. Right. So it's probably not going to happen, but it could. Could have some fan now find out where The Rock's daughter lives and go after and try and kill her? It's very easily. In the world we live in, things you can find out where someone lives like that. So, should not be added. If WWE give in tomorrow, that's what they're doing. If they add Cody, or they go, oh no, we made a mistake, it's going to be Cody Reigns night one. That's The Rock giving in. The haters going to think, we can get what we want now and go online. And it also drowns out the real Cody supporters, because people are just looking at all this hatred. It drowns out. But they're those marks, and they're going to think, we can get what we want. Because we are just going to go online and do a bit of hate. And they get what they want. But,
I'm going to give my 2 cents on this, because I'm going to wrap my share up here, because I'll have to head in a few minutes. I don't agree in death threats. I 100% don't agree on the death threats. If you threaten someone for something you don't like, you don't deserve wrestling. 100%. You shouldn't like, but not all Cody fans are doing that. Like, it'd be the same like when we were supposed to get
I don't care if it's one
we didn't
or if
get
it's a
Daniel
million.
Bryan. We didn't see Daniel Bryan people threatened, but like they're making this a lot bigger than what happened in 2014. Like, because the internet has gotten more stronger for Cody fans than it did for Daniel Bryan fans. So, but not all of them are threatening The Rock or Ava Raine or threatening Roman Reigns either, or being racist to him or wishing his cancer comes back. They're doing other things. They're not.
I don't care if it's one person.
But the way I
see it, one person. The fact is, they've done it.
Yeah, but they're not like they won't be able to do it at all because they wouldn't be able to get near them because they're well protected.
Doesn't matter. I don't care. That's not an excuse. I don't care if it's one person out of 10 billion. Fact is, they've done it. Not there's 10 billion people in the world, but there's 8 billion, and obviously not all of those people watch wrestling. But if it's like say 1 million Cody fans and one person has done this, it's still that one person doing it. Whereas one is 1 million. Doesn't make it any less. But
and if they decide
to death upon Roman Reigns on The Rock.
And if we find out this is a swerve, like it'll still be a fun match because you can turn The Rock heel, and The Rock is very good at being a heel.
What, so both Reigns and The Rock a heel?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Batista went heel when he wasn't getting over in 2014. Turn The Rock heel because The Rock knows how to play heel.
Yeah, but again, I think The Rock is the ultimate babyface no matter what. Like, look at he's a big movie star, and they're really actually going to boo The Rock. They're not, are they? And you don't know how long you've been getting The Rock for.
They booed him before.
They
booed him before. I mean, turning heel did revive his career after the Rocky Maivia stuff of 96 to 97. So I think a heel turn would benefit him in this one.
Over 20 years ago, I'm talking 2024. People really gonna boo the biggest movie star in the world, and you don't know how long we're getting The Rock for. I'd imagine.
Think about it.
Very sparingly. I imagine you're doing this to the press conference. Doing the press conference. Go on.
Well, here's the way I see it. Like, if people
doing the press,
for people in the, I'll just wrap this up here because I'm gonna have to go now in a couple of minutes. If The Rock's fans can help Black Adam bomb in the box office, then they can turn on it. They can turn him into the heel. They can turn him into a heel. So they can turn on him, and he can embrace that hate because it won't matter to him.
Can but won't. You don't know how long you're getting The Rock for. Obviously, he's have the press conference tomorrow. Apparently, in Elimination Chamber. I'd imagine a couple of SmackDowns between now and Mania. Probably the Hall of Fame. So you get The Rock sparingly, so people aren't booing him, and he knows that. And if he's booed, he don't care.
No, he'll embrace it. He's good at embracing the heel side. He's great.
The Rock can say that's apparently what's been said backstage. The Rock's he's got a very thick skin. Don't care about people booing him. He's looking at this as a money-making thing. And yes, he's behind Cody. Purely, he's going to make his money. This is bigger for everybody. Bigger for TKO. And The Rock is second on the board, just below Ari Emanuel. So he is supporting Cody. But only because he's the factor in this, how he's going to make Rock's making money. So he's not ready, he's behind. Anyway, yeah, we'll finish up here then. So everybody do make sure to like and subscribe, and I'm gonna die down with my neck's killing me, but it is from the Golden One himself, Ricky Goldman, and the Wise Man. It is. So acknowledge, electrify, like, subscribe, and good night.